Curious about George. There's talk about canceling Curious George now because of racial associations embedded in the story. George avoids AIDS, about a white guy in the yellow 10-gallon hat who saves an African monkey from getting AIDS from the CIA after making a bet with the CEO of Planned Parenthood to see who could exterminate more hoop dreams before they got off the ground. Holla! Thank you very much! Cancel Curious George, yet who on the left would take offense to a remake titled By Curious George, targeted towards sexually confused hipster spawn reared on Lou Reed Records? Holla! Thank you very much! The husband-wife team who created Curious George were a Jewish couple who fled Germany on a self-made bike, but some miserable Twitter twat dares to accuse these authors as peddling picture books for white supremacists on 4chan today. Curious George gets a job doesn't feed into the narrative of systematic racism. So that's a solid reason to go apeshit online and shit over a kid's age of innocence, as if wearing masks at school, like during vacation with Michael Jackson in Bahrain, isn't depressingly dreary enough with no end in sight already. Holla! Thank you very much! Curious George flies a kite isn't racist. You'd think the title was Jamal's older brother is high on shitty commercial weed in the project hallways before the school bus arrives in the AM again. Holla! Thank you very much! Curious George learns the alphabet in Ebonics was never written, although I think Nas could reinvent himself as a child book author and give it a shot. I'd read that to my kids immediately. In a New York minute, in a New York frame of mind. Because life's a bitch and then you die. Holla! Thank you very much! Curious George goes to the pizza party hosted by Danny Aiello and Do the Right Thing when he starts dropping M-bombs because Radio Raheem played Public Enemy too loud for his taste out of the freaking blue, despite most Italians being proud members of the loudmouthed bleacher creatures throwing batteries at opposing players in right field in the old Yankee Stadium before the new one was built, otherwise known as the house that gentrification built. Got it. Holla! Thank you very much! Curious George goes to the hospital from drive-by gunshot wounds for wearing his customary red top while cruising through South Central to pick up some discount rims for the man in the yellow-brimmed pimped hat for an upcoming 70s Fly Guy pimp costume party for Halloween was never published either. Unless Snoop Dogg retells the story to his kids that way, because that's how the sticky icky king of green puffla rap rolls. Holla! Thank you very much! It's Curious George goes to the baseball game. Not Curious George dominates the baseball game, smacks 3 homers in the World Series, doing his best Mr. October impersonation, while Pete Rose places a bet on how many N-bombs Marge shot dropped in rapid succession after uppity, erudite, hyper-articulate, clutch-hitting Reggie went yard for number 3. Holla! Thank you very much! Curious George goes to the movies and is louder than Busta Rhymes at a midnight showing of Higher Learning. Will make a funny kid picture book though. Holla! Thank you very much! Curious George visits the dentist and samples some Bill Cosby material. Should be a non-divisive topic embraced by all, stating, female dragonflies act dead to avoid sexual assault from male dragonflies. Bill Cosby victims call this wishful thinking. Holla! Thank you very much! And then Curious George goes for the jugular and says, the New York Times says that stay-at-home moms today spend more time with their kids than stay-at-home moms in the 70s. Let me repeat that. New York Times says that working moms today spend more time with their kids than stay-at-home moms did in the 70s. So does that mean that all the stay-at-home moms in the 70s slept on the job on too many Quaaludes, dreaming of Bill Cosby's family-friendly, drilling dentist material of yesteryear? Holla! Thank you very much! Shabbat Shalom! And I'll talk to you guys soon.